All right, take five. It's clear. I'm trying my fucking best to make this fucking video. So I really hope you guys appreciate this mushroom video because it was really intense. And look, I'm over here disturbing my cat, disturbing the peace. Disclaimer, I'm not making this so that I encourage you to do drugs. I'm not saying this because I want you to do drugs. I'm telling the story because I know people like good stories and they can help people from making the same mistakes I did in the future. I'm not going to tell my first shroom trip story. I'll probably tell that later on in the video because it's only like a 30-second video. I mean, a 30-second talk. I've only done shrooms twice. I've done LSD countless amounts of times. Literally, I forgot to count. I used to. But when I took it this time, it was because it was cheaper. And usually, I don't like to spend a bunch of money. That's why I go on the L side instead of the shroom side. But this time I got it from a friend and it was free. So, didn't even have to worry about the price. He gave me a quarter, and that was awesome. I didn't have a scale, so that was my first fuck up. Because Terrence McKenna says, if you're gonna do anything, have a scale so you know what you did. And I was like, fuck it, dude. I'm just gonna split it in half because at 3.5 is usually what people take, and I'm just gonna add a little bit and make it look like 4, maybe 4.5, maybe 4.2, whatever. So I took that, and I took that around 11 o'clock. I didn't have any food on my stomach, and I made some hot tea, so it would kind of like, I don't know. I felt like it was a good idea. My friend called me, so for that hour of my initial digestion of the shrooms, I completely forgot about it. He video called me and we played guitar together to pass the time. And he lives really far away, so that's what we do. After that hour had passed though, and I had drank some of my tea when I remembered to, because the Turkish cup I have keeps it boiling hot, and I'm not about burning the taste buds off my tongue. So I sipped the tea, 1, 2, 3. I'm like, man, some good tea. I drink it some more, get talking some more, and the next thing you know, bam. I hit my peak right away. There was no pause, there was no anything, and I had done a few things, so I was kind of prepared for the night. I wrote my intentions down that I wanted to feel more love, I wanted to love myself more, and I wanted to draw a stronger bridge to the astral plane. Those three things kind of happened all at the same time. Once the phone call was ended, I laid down and I could just feel the overwhelming happiness coursing through my body, coursing through my veins, coursing through my brain, and I was losing control. And that's where I saw my first mistake, is I just didn't let it happen. I'm more of a thinker instead of a feeler, and that bothers me because feelings are things too, just like thoughts are things. Like you don't want to overdo something, but progress is progress, no matter what direction it's going. Just because it's not going the direction you want, that doesn't mean it wasn't progress. So that's kind of how I took it. But when I started to kind of make steps to feel more of my environment and feel more of the love, a lot more strange things happen. I cut the lights off, I turn on some good music on my phone, I turn on the Bluetooth, and I don't even put the headphones in. I just get blown away as this whistle pops up in my ear and starts like increasing and kind of going with the flow with my thoughts and also guiding my thoughts, because I'm trying to increase it and play with it a little bit. And the more I amplify it, the better I feel. So that was maybe like a half an hour of me like laying down. So it's like 12:30. I realize, holy shit, this is probably my peak because I drank hot tea and there's nothing on my stomach and I'm a weirdo. So who knows how this is going down. So I decided to meditate and feel the vibes. I've never felt more personal love for myself than I have in that moment. The more I meditated, the more I could. In my last video, I talked about tripping on L one time and feeling pain in my ankle. I think I'm not sure if I talked about that one yet, but the pain slid down all the way around my body and all over me, depending on where I was paying attention, and that blew my mind when you realize like you make things real. So I basically applied that to this, and I expanded the love all through my body, and then I'm pretty sure, I don't know if this happened first or like during this, point I'm talking about, but there was a pyramid that kind of appeared in my brain, but it was hard to focus on because at the same time there was like symbols and things flying through my brain, like or the reflection of what my brain was, and everything was just like flying around, and it was just so overwhelming. And that's what my philosophers I listen to always tell me: you don't get overwhelmed. Try to pay attention. And I couldn't. It was just so much, and don't blame myself because it's the first time I've done it in so long, and I don't know how much I took. I don't know where I was going, so there you go, guys. Don't do that. Be intentional. So I still had a good trip, nonetheless. After things started calming down and I was able to accept more of the love, I was actually only accepting like 75% of it because I was starting to feel my room break down, like I was tripping on DMT, and I got kind of scared because the last time I tripped on DMT was before my friend left, and I went to go do it with him because it was his it was my birthday, and I wanted to trip with everybody. I had enough to trip with everybody, but my ex was like super salty that I didn't just want to hang with her, and I had my cousin with me, and he wasn't about to do any because he's just like, he only liked to do other things that just aren't really healthy for you. And so we went there anyways because it was my fucking birthday. I'm like, I'm going to do what I want. If you guys want to do it with me, I don't blame you. But my ex also she's really spiritual. And last time she did it, she like almost blasted out of her body, and she was not about that. She was like, nope, I felt like I was going to die. So I was like, I don't blame you, man. So we go to his house, and we do the DMT, and he's ganja gone. I was so happy for him because I wanted to bring him that because we tripped a lot when we were younger, and he always paid for the stuff. I never really had to pay for it, so I wanted to bring this to him because he kind of took care of me when I was like in my younger state. But when I tripped on DMT with him, I went to this gold room, but it was like patterned like Charlie Brown's t-shirt, so it was like just like his t-shirt, but it was like gold, and it was the zigzag pattern was everywhere, but in between the zigzags there were like diamond shapes that held blue and red and I think a little bit of green, and that room I could see in a 360 motion. And I remember before I went in, I wanted to have a mantra, and I wanted to say friend because I wanted to find that lady I found in my last DMT trip, and I didn't, and that bothered me because it felt like I was alone, and I didn't like that very much. That's mostly why I'm making these videos now, because I don't really have people to talk about with these and make sense of them and really digest them. I'm always doing it by myself, and that's not really how we're supposed to live life. I feel like we're really supposed to try and come together and figure this out, because when you're born alone and you die alone, and that's not cool. You have to try to do something, right? But anyways, that frightened me on my shrooms trips, and that was another wake up. I was like, wow, I'm that scared to be alone because I know it might be true that when you die, you might end up just being all alone, which isn't so bad, but damn, like, I kind of didn't want to be right. But nonetheless, I still had a really good trip. It was eye-opener that I need to learn to be better alone, and I needed to allow the love to come in, even if it was pain. And my meditations kind of had paid off because I was able to focus on that part and expand the love. But I'm not sure if I already said this. Instead of experiencing 100% of love, I only experienced like 75. Sounds like a nice D. It's not so bad. I liked it. But if anything, I wish I had known. But now I know, so I guess I'll just go from there. Wow, my video is almost 10 minutes. Time flies. I really appreciate you guys listening to this story. The come down was super cool. It's like I just stopped tripping slowly, and I was just super happy. And I forgot, I mentioned I was going to tell you guys about the rest of it. And if you want to hear the other micro trips I had, stay tuned. But that's basically it of the last big shroom trip. But my micro trips were pretty cool. The one micro trip I had, I played video games with my friend, and I did pretty well at the video games. It kind of like helped me expand more, and he's kind of an asshole, so it helped me appreciate why he's an asshole more. Instead of reacting, I just observed and just kind of like let it happen and stop letting it kind of get at me. He's an asshole in terms of when someone has low self confidence. Sometimes they pick at other people to make themselves feel better, and I'm not that kind of person. I don't need to use you to make myself feel like I'm stronger, because you're only stronger because of you, not because of me, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, a noble man wants to be better than himself, not better than other people. That's kind of how I see it. But I learned to appreciate him more because he's going through his own set of pains. And if I can learn to be more playful and stop being such a reactive dick, our friendship could be better. Or I could just stop talking to him. I don't give a fuck. But we'll see where that goes. My second microdose, I wanted to take it and try and lucid dream better. And I did. I absolutely did. And I learned that night in my dreams that I have to make a better tick. And by tick, I mean, they say it's good to set an alarm every hour and survey your surroundings. And I have to add to my tick, because every hour I'll either snap my fingers and look around the room so I know it's been an hour. So I become more familiar with the feeling, and it gets into my system. And I've been doing it for like almost a week now. So now like I almost can tell when it's getting ready to be an hour. Sometimes it's unpredictable. Sometimes the hours feel so long and I don't know how to handle it. I'm like, damn, that was the longest hour ever. And instead of digesting it, trying to figure out why it was the longest hour. Anyways, I realize I need to add on to that tick so that I can better plan to observe my surroundings instead of interact and logically, go through everything. I need to become a better feeler. So, take that however you need to take that, but learn from it. I really hope you guys learn from it. I'm planning on making more videos because I want to build a community of people who just talk to each other. I don't know about generally just what yet. I don't even know if it's going to be about these topics. It could be more along the astral plane, because that's kind of where I'm leading right now. So, best of luck, best wishes, and I wish you well, homies. I really hope to hear from you. Leave your comments. Let me know how you like the video and how I can adjust. I figured good music, my cat, good story. Just follow what you need.